Hey guys, Mrs. C here. Just wanted to take a minute and go over our new grammar for week 11. Can you believe it? I can't believe it's already week 11. So I am recording this differently today. I'm recording it on my iPhone. This is like the third time I've recorded this video. The first time my prop that I used for science fell on the computer and stopped the video in the middle of it, and I didn't realize it, so then continued talking to nothing because it wasn't recording. And then I recorded it again after I realized that, and my 4-year-old decided to get stuff out of the cabinet in the kitchen behind me, which was fine, wouldn't have been a big deal, except that he was not clothed appropriately. And then I recorded it again just now, but it's later in the day, and so the lighting in here was making it really weird. That was really jerky when I was moving the camera. Not moving the camera, but it looked really, what's the word that I want? Like, blurry. There we go. That's the word that I want. So anyway, so I apologize if this is weird, because typically when I record on my computer and I can look at myself, which sounds conceited, except that it helps me because I feel like I'm talking to someone because I'm making eye contact with, well, it's myself, but it's another like being, it seems like. And on this, I have to look at the little dot that's my camera on my phone. So anyway, so I apologize if at points I look like I'm just looking off into the distance. So anyway, enough of that. New grammar, week 11. So we start off with geography, which is typically what I start off with in class. We blob map the U.S. and congratulations, you have learned all 50 states and their capitals. Give yourselves a round of applause. Good job. We are moving on to geographical features of the United States. So today we had the New England section of the Appalachian Mountains. I know a lot of people pronounce that Appalachian, and I just have to say, my dad is from the Appalachian Mountains, and I grew up going there all the time, and my aunt actually worked for a company called Apple Shop that recorded things, and I grew up pronouncing it Appalachian. So if you want to pronounce it Appalachian, that's fine. But just if I say Appalachian, know that I'm not saying it like the CD, but that's how I grew up saying it. So we had White Mountains, Green Mountains, Adirondack Mountains, and Allegheny Mountains. And my kids came up with an acronym to remember each of those. So we used our dry erase markers and drew kind of lines, because those are in lines, except for the Allegheny. They're a little more in a cluster. But they decided to go with "we grow apples always." So not anything too crazy. I thought it was going to be something much funnier, but they were serious mode this morning, so that's what we had. So we grow apples always for White, Green, Adirondack, and Allegheny Mountains. Then we moved on to our history sentence. So I have been trying to incorporate things that appeal to my kids' different levels or different learning styles, and one of the learning styles is listening and writing things, and so I've been trying to do some things with that, which is hard because sometimes those things don't seem very stick and sand. But one of the really easy stick and sand ways you can do it is letting your kids listen while they draw or write something or do some type of art. It engages different parts of the brain, which makes it helpful for memory's sake. It accesses another part, so it locks that into their memory in another way. So today I actually was able to find a maze that was Abraham Lincoln centered, and so we sang through the history sentence one time, and then I let them turn their mazes over, and we just kept listening to the song while they worked on their maze. So again, that's not quite as stick and sand as just letting them have a piece of paper and a pencil. So if you want to be more stick and sand, piece of paper and pencil will do it. Then we moved on to math, because at that point they were ready to get up. And we jumped for math today, and we started off jumping for every number, and then we jumped for every syllable of all the numbers, and then we jumped slow, and then we jumped faster. And I've had a few of my fellow tutors who watch these ask what I mean by jumping for math. So basically what we do is we sing the math song for a skip counting, and I let the kids take turns coming up and circling or underlining a number. So we would skip count, like, let's just do ones, because that's not really skip counting, but if you were counting and 2 and 5 were circled, you would say 1, jump on 2, 3, 4, jump on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? So then they take turns. So by the end, generally all the numbers are circled, and we're jumping for all of them. Then we did, hold on just a minute. Then we did English. So for our English, we got out our agility ladder again, and we jumped, and I went ahead and had the kids line up for jumping. So they were already in order, and they just jumped while we chanted, and everybody went through a couple times. Some of our parents even joined in, which was awesome. Then we moved on to Latin, and my kids have been begging for Latin Lions the past few weeks, and Latin Lion doesn't really work well for the sentences, for our rules, but I used him anyway because they've been begging for him. So I basically just underlined some of the most important words in the sentence, and our lion said the important words and our human said the other words. And then the lion said the whole sentence and the human said the whole sentence, and we just kind of went back and forth like that. Then for our science, my kids have stolen they stole my props. So what I had was, hey Graham, can you get me a couple marbles over there on the floor? Thank you. So, yes, right there on the floor. So what we did is I had 2 kids come up, and they were glands and organs. And then I had marbles that represented hormones. And in most marbles, inside them, there's kind of wavy lines. So those were our messages. And then, thank you. My beautiful assistants bringing me things for my video. Oh, they're so helpful. So anyway, so I had marbles. And they have the wavy stuff in the middle. So those are messages. And these were our hormones. And this was our bloodstream. And we had all the rest of the students stood at the other end of the line. So glands and organs use hormones to send messages through the bloodstream to the rest of the body. And the marbles would come out the other end, and the kids would all catch them. So it was just a fun way to demonstrate. And I had about 15 marbles, and they would throw the marbles in, and they would all come out, and the kids had fun trying to catch the marbles. And then we took turns, everyone being glands and organs. So that's what we did for science. And the last thing that we have to do is timeline. So for those of you who don't know, if you have a CC connected /C3 / classical conversations connected / whatever you want to call it account, you can go on to the Foundations Learning Center Foundations Learning Center, and they have Learning Forum, that's what it is. And where you see the file sharing tab, which is what a lot of people use, and that's where you find your songs for the week. You can find, your printables for the week there. There's also a tab that says Learning Center, and if you click on that, there will be a drop-down box that says Timeline Videos, and there are the official timeline videos with motions for the timeline song. So if you are ever confused, or you miss a week, or you didn't really understand a motion, you can go on there and check that out. And if you don't have a CC Connected account, get one, because it's totally worth it. So today we had, and that's where all of mine come from. Occasionally I modify them if they're really difficult, and I think my kids might have an issue with it, but for the most part, that's where all of my motions come from. So we had Norman Conquest and feudalism, and feudalism had, like the low people and the high people and the people in between. So for feudalism, they kind of do this, symbolizing the hierarchy there. The Crusades, we're going to make a cross and then just kind of move it because we're crusading. Zimbabwe and early Mali, so we're making an M, in Africa. And this is the sign for gold, and they always do that for Africa, just I guess because we see a lot of gold jewelry in tribal Africa, so Africa. Then we have Aztecs, so we're just going to draw like the pyramids that they made, the Aztecs of Mesoamerica. Francis of Assisi, I can't say that. I can sing it in the song, but I cannot say it out loud. So Francis of that place that you know what I'm talking about, and you just do this, Francis. And then Thomas Aquinas, and since that part goes fast, it's just the F and the T for that. Then we have Japan Shogun, so we're going to act like we have a sword sheathed, and we're pulling our sheathed sword out. Japan Shoguns. And Incas of South America. Go like this. So I didn't research that one, and so I'm not sure if this is supposed to be their little pyramids that they made or if it's like they're in the mountains, but this is the official CC motion. So that's a good question to go ask your parents if you want to know why that's the motion. Okay. So the other thing we did today was 10 whistle, and for those of you who are tutoring, we'll be doing dynamics this week. And during class, it just came to me that the song John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt is a perfect song to teach dynamics to kids. And you guys, it was so sad because like half of my class has never heard that song. It's a classic children's song. Every kid should know it because it's the most awesomely annoying song ever. So if you're one of my parents and your kid now knows that song, I'm sorry. I did teach it to them and they all liked yelling, so I apologize. But it's really fun because you start off mezzo forte and then you sing fortissimo and then you decrescendo and you sing piano or mezzo piano and then you sing fortissimo and decrescendo. So that was an excellent one to do with the class and kind of point out dynamically where we were. I had all from pianissimo up into fortissimo written up on the board, and so I was pointing to where we were for each time. So if you're tutoring or even if you're at home and you want to go over that with the kids, it's a really fun way to go over that. For my class, we are playing Everything is Awesome. We're just playing the first 2 lines here. So practice that at home because we'll be performing that at lunch next week. And yeah, that's all. I hope everyone's there next week so we can put our body project together. I'm excited to see how you guys all look. It'll be really fun. And yeah, we have one more week. I can't believe it. And then it's Christmas break. So I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I hope to see everyone back for week 12. Have a great week, guys. Bye.